is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2016 SJPorr Challenge is dedicated to your friend and ours, Paul Wickstein. Brought to you by Brewcraft USA, iMake, Gladfield Malting, Yakima Valley Hops, The Grain Bill, Brewers Exchange, Keg Kingdom Homebrew Supply, Hiraki Homebrew, and a special thanks to our silver sponsors.
Well, better late than never. Life has gotten in the way, in a good way. Being busy is not always the worst thing. SJPorr Challenge US and Canada Finals. This is the first one I've grabbed out of the fridge. It is November 17th, so I got to get on, got to get in the game and get these reviewed. I'm pretty pumped. The first one we have is the Red X Session IPA. This is 79W-34Z-86J. Again, it's the Red X Session IPA, 3.1% ABV, brewed with Red X and coffee malts, lactose, and oats. On the website, it says designed to be a fuller light beer and was achieved through the use of oats, lactose, higher mash temps, coffee malt used in place of coffee beans so that the coffee flavor would be present but not overwhelming. And Red X is actually the base malt, and I had never used Red X and have never knowingly had Red X, so this is going to be pretty cool. So a Red X coffee IPA at a very low 3.1% ABV. Here we go. Wow. That was quite a hiss from the bottle. Let's get a pour on this. It's been sitting outside the fridge for just a minute. Well, looks like we have some lively carb. Have to slow that down a bit. We definitely have carbonation. Whew. It's got almost everything in there. Looks like it was keg conditioned, but look, keg conditioned from the bottom of the bottle. But this high carbonation almost makes me think it was bottle conditioned. So as you can see, very kind of rocky head, but it's kind of moussey on the top, kind of a tan khaki color head. And it's got bubbles streaming up the sides like crazy. I wish I could get, you can see a little bit right there. It's a cool color. It's really dark for an IPA. If you're looking at it straight without any light behind it, it almost looks brown, almost brownish red, almost kind of a purple. You hold it up to the light and it's got a beautiful ruby hue to the corners of it. I doubt you'll be able to see that from where I'm sitting. You can see it a little bit across the bottom, but it's very clear. It's really nice looking beer. Love the color. That's a really cool color with that Red X malt. So let's get a smell on it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to get some of this foam down. All right, so now let's get a smell on it. You get some hop aromas, not a ton, but it smells really nice though. You can, I feel like the aroma lends itself to thinking you're going to get some kind of dark fruit characteristics to it. And I get a little kind of a berry nose, kind of a berry note in the aroma. And I'm assuming that's from the hops. I don't really perceive any coffee or really any malts that stand out to begin with, but it smells nice. It smells Still smells relatively fresh. I don't know if this was rebrewed for the second round or if this is a carryover from the first. Let's get into this. It smells really nice. Cheers to the brewer. That's a really nice beer. It's got a different, oh, there's the coffee. It's got a different flavor profile than I think I've had before in a good way. It's got some really cool characteristics to it. So it's definitely malty, and which is really neat for a 3.1% IPA. You definitely get some nice kind of, not dark as in roasted malt character, but almost kind of dark fruit malt character, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Probably doesn't. But along with that, you get just a little kind of a biscuity toastiness with the malt, but then the hops are extremely present. It's definitely an IPA. And now that I've tasted it, I'm smelling it. It's opening it up a little bit more. It's really nice. You can smell just a hint of the coffee now. Gosh, the hops, I would, oh man, do I venture to guess what type of hops are in this? No, I think I'd be wrong. I'm really having a hard time putting my words around the hop profile. It's really nice. It's got a nice firm bitterness that doesn't linger. It hits you along with the malt to balance it out really nicely. The coffee is definitely present, but it's very much towards the end of the palate, and kind of after you swallow and you sit with it for a second, and then it kind of hits you, which is a beautiful aftertaste. So it's not even much the hops that linger on your palate, it's the coffee flavor, which that coffee malt is really cool. I don't think I've ever used the coffee malt either. The carb is really nice. It's on the high side, but not, from when I poured it, I was expecting it to be almost prickly, carbonic, like high carb, and it's really not. It's on the high side, but it's not off-putting. It does kind of dance off your tongue a little bit to begin with, ever so slightly prickly. But then it goes away really quickly, so it didn't really detract from anything. The mouthfeel is, to me, where this thing stands out for sure. At 3.1%, I would never be able to tell you that this is that low ABV. I mean, mouthfeel of probably a 5 to a 6% IPA, probably. That's really good. Really, really well done. No fermentation off flavors. I would venture to say that this was probably not a rebrew. I think it was probably a first batch or first round. This was more bottles from the first round. And I say that only because the hop flavors are delicious. They're beautiful. But I think you can start to tell when an IPA just starts on that back end of the decline from the very, very punchy hop flavors. And they just don't, you know, they don't taste super fresh. It's still really good. I'm not saying it tastes old by any means, but you can somewhat tell when it's starting to get there. really well done. It's baffling me how little distinct character, as in trying to pinpoint flavors from that hop profile, which is actually really cool because it's not like, you know, boom, grapefruit, or hit you in the face with pine, or it's just very well melded, blended together hop flavors with those malts. Wow, this is well done. I can most definitely see why this made it through to the finals. Wow, well done. And it is a cool color. I think I would like the color a little bit lighter. I imagine with the Red X plus the coffee malt, it took it closer into the brown, dark amber category instead of a red. But it's still got a cool color, and it's beautifully clear. Carbs sticking around. You're almost getting some lacing from this. Gracious, I'm sorry. You're getting almost some lacing from this. Look at that. 3.1%. That's impressive. I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to go score this. I'm going to let it warm up a little bit more while I'm trying to score. But wow, well done. Cheers to the brewer. This is the Red X Coffee IPA. 79W-34Z-86J. Good luck in the competition. And if this is what the rest of the beers look like, probably don't have much of a prayer going on. So cheers. Good luck to everybody else out there. We'll see you on the next one.